Hey, welcome to our daily edition of Friend of God. We're taking this directly from our new book called Friend of God, Letting Jesus Say Who You Really Are, because we really believe that when you learn how Jesus defines you, it changes how you define you. You are not the sum of your mistakes and victories. You are who Jesus says you are. You are the one He loves. Thus, you are a friend of God. And in this incredible journey through the writings of John, we see John telling us over and over again, this is what it looks like to be loved by Jesus. And so through 40 days, we're going to take a look at what Jesus is showing to John, and thus John is showing to us. That John comes to the conclusion that I am the one that Jesus loves, and thus we can come to that same conclusion. So, every day, we're going to take one of these chapters and give you just a very quick thing to think about and pray about for that day. And so here is today's episode. Day 11, I'm the one He serves. Boy, what a fascinating idea that is, to think of Jesus as a servant. If you've read the chapter, you know we talked a little bit about 5 love languages. Always a great thing to do with you and your family to figure out what your love languages are. I'm always amazed at how in our family, there are 4 of us, and we all 4 have different love languages. When I come home after the end of a long day, if my wife and daughters weren't home yet, perhaps they were out running to the grocery store or picking kids up from school or whatever, if I got home first, I always felt like the best thing I could do was pick up anything left out in the house. Maybe it's stuff left over from, preparing lunch or breakfast, or maybe I start dinner and get that going. And I do all these little acts of service because that's my love language. When my wife and kids come in the house, my wife comes in and looks at me and she doesn't see the acts of service. She says, "Are you home tonight?" In other words, her love language is quality time. Will you be here? I have one daughter that just wants to tell me stories and hear me affirm her because her love language is affirmation. And another one that just wants to know, did I bring her anything? Because her love language are gifts. Jesus shows us that He is somebody who highly values service. And He decides at this time He is going to serve His disciples. Now, He obviously had the ability to give great words of affirmation, physical touch, and heal people. He had gave great quality time to His disciples. When we get to heaven, we'll find out what His love language really was. My odds are on service. Here He is with His disciples. They're around this table we often refer to as the Last Supper, and Jesus washes all their feet. He washes the feet of Peter, who will soon deny Him, and He washes the feet of Judas, who will soon betray Him. And Jesus knows all that's coming. And John remarks that he is the one that Jesus loves, the one sitting next to Him, the one who's had His feet washed by Him. I wonder if today, have you ever thought about how Jesus serves you? All we have to do is start at the cross. He serves us by His sacrifice. We could go to the way that He serves us with giving us breath in our lungs for the day. We could go by how He is an everlasting spring of life to the point where He is inexhaustible when it comes to knowing Him and being blessed by Him. Have you ever thought about how Jesus serves you? So here's our prayer for the day. Jesus, today, remind me of all the ways that You serve me. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow with Day 12. Well, I hope that was helpful for you today. Take that with you throughout the remainder of your day. We'll be back tomorrow with another daily edition. Make sure you check us out on YouTube and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And we'll be back tomorrow with another daily edition of Friend of God.